The Sacramento Kings are an inconsistent franchise that haven't made the playoffs since the 2005 to 2006 season with Mike Bibby and Brad Miller. But I think they can change their ways and become a consistent team that can make the playoffs. And there's a few ways that they can do this. The first option is to do what the Knicks did and become a veteran team that is defensive minded. Sure, they had the worst defensive rating in the 2020 to 2021 season, but they already have good defenders in De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes, and Tyrese Halliburton. They can also find some role players in free agency that can contribute on the defensive side, such as PJ Tucker, Nerlens Noel, Avery Bradley, Nicholas Batum, Jarrett Allen, or even Alex Caruso. Aside from them all being good defenders, they have another thing in common, and that's playoff experience, the thing that the majority of the Kings players didn't have. These free agent signings could help give the Sacramento Kings that final push to get to the playoffs. The second option is to trade for a player who will pair nicely with their young stars in De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton. And a player that I think the Kings should go after is Miles Turner, who averaged 12.6 points, 6.5 rebounds, and career-high 3.4 blocks in the 2020 to 2021 season. Turner can help their defense drive and protect the paint, which the Kings really lacked in with the worst defensive rating of field goals allowed and opponents' field goal percentage. Turner can also help grab rebounds for the Kings, since they were also last in total rebound percentage. They can make this trade happen by giving the Pacers Marvin Bagley, Buddy Hield, and a second-round pick. Buddy Hield has been inconsistent the whole season, and Marvin Bagley just needs a fresh start somewhere else. Miles Turner is an elite threat that can really help the Kings in the areas they need the most help in, which is why the trade would be worth it for the Kings to become a playoff team. Another trade that can help the Kings get to the playoffs is to trade for Marcus Smart, a guy who had a career high in points with 13.1 and assists with 5.7. I know Smart is a guard just like the guys the Kings want to build around in Fox and Halliburton, but Smart is an impact player that can lead the team to success. Smart can guard positions 1 through 4 and give the team a lot of energy. The Kings could put him in the starting lineup and go small, or Marcus Smart can even come off the bench and go in with the second rotation. To make this trade happen, the Kings could trade away Buddy Hield in 2 seconds for Marcus Smart. This will be a good trade for the Kings because they wouldn't have to take on Hield's large contract anymore. And they also get Marcus Smart for 1 year, which gives the Kings the option of re-signing him if he helps the team, or they can let him walk if it doesn't work out. And finally, the third option is to fire their head coach in Luke Walton. Yes, it's that simple. Fire Luke Walton and get a new coach that can give the team a fresh start. The Kings already have a new GM in Monty McNair, who acquired their young star in Tyrese Halliburton in the draft. The Kings might as well get a new coach, start a new culture change in the organization. Some coaches I think the Kings should go after are coaches who are trying to get their shot of being a head coach, such as Sam Cassell, Becky Hammond, or even Wes Unseld Jr. They just need to stop trying to get an experienced coach who had success or even somewhat success, like Luke Walton, Dave Yeager, who coached the Kings from 2017 to 2019, and even George Karl, who coached the Kings from 2015 to 2016. Instead, get someone who has been around the game of basketball for decades, as a player and as an assistant coach as well. If they do this, then I think they will be ready to transition into a playoff team. These options could really help the Sacramento Kings turn their franchise around, from a laughingstock to a more respectable organization that won't have to reminisce about the past on how good they were, and instead get excited about what they have in store for next season.